Hello from Northern California in the United States. My name is Professor Donald Johanson, and I am so very pleased to have been invited to share in this celebration with everyone present. I'd like to start by expressing my sincerest best wishes to everyone assembled here today, the outstanding faculty, the expert administrative staff, and the diverse and dedicated students embracing the motto of this world-class university, devoted to excellence. Also, many, many thanks to the president of the University of Gondar, Professor Asrat Atsedewan, and the esteemed faculty of the university for conferring this Doctor of Philosophy, honoris causa, to recognize my half-century of researching the origins of humankind in one of my favorite places in the world, Ethiopia. It is with great humility that I accept this distinction and consider it one of the most important landmarks in my academic life. I am so proud to be a member of the University of Gondar community. Thank you. My first visit to Ethiopia was in mid-June of 1970. I recall with deep affection that very first morning, stepping out of my small tent in the lower Omo Valley and feeling such a powerful connection to that historic spot. In a strange, profound way, I felt at home. I've heard the same sentiment many times from my American and European friends and colleagues after they visit Africa for the first time. Back then, in the early 1970s, there was no infrastructure for the study of human origins in Ethiopia. And there were no Ethiopians trained to participate in paleoanthropology. I'm pleased to say that today, the Ethiopian government has constructed world-class laboratories and storage facilities where scholars from around the world come to conduct in-depth studies of Ethiopian paleontological and archaeological discoveries. Also, even more exciting is that there is a cadre of Ethiopian-born scholars who are leading many expeditions that are greatly expanding the knowledge of our ancient beginnings. Universities in Addis Ababa and even in the Afar region are expanding opportunities for an increasing number of Ethiopian-born students to become directly involved in paleoanthropology. Following my student days at the University of Chicago, I was invited by a geologist, the late Maurice Tayeb, to accompany him to the Afar region to evaluate the potential for paleoanthropological research in what was really terra incognito. After weeks of fieldwork, we realized that the geological deposits in the Afar were very rich, fossil rich. So we assembled a team of scholars to pursue widespread field expeditions with the hope of discovering fossil remains of our most ancient ancestors. Following the discovery of the 3.2 million year old fossil known as Lucy, or in Ethiopia as Dinkinesh, numerous expeditions followed that have now amassed a fossil record of human evolution that reaches back some 6 million years. The goal of anthropology is to understand how we became human, which is the consequence of the unanticipated and powerful synergy of the combination of classical biological evolution and cultural evolution. That's an academic's way of saying that humans are unique and wildly successful. There are billions of us on this planet today, with some scientists making a serious effort to populate other places in our solar system. We're a clever, highly adaptable species. At one time, we were a survival-oriented species, but today we have become, for better or worse, a species capable of shaping our world through increasingly complex technology to suit us. But our great success has given us a false sense of security. Many of us seem to believe that since we survived the whims and caprices of nature, that we are in charge, that we are somehow superorganic, above and separate from the natural world. People always ask me about saving the planet from climate change, sea level rise, ever-evolving viruses. But guess what? The planet was fine before humans were here, and it will be fine if we go extinct. Hopefully not. The future success of humanity, and indeed of all our fellow travelers, depends on the choices we make. My work has led me to an appreciation of our place in the natural world. We belong here just as much as any other species. But as I said, we are unique, and we have put ourselves in the position of being responsible for our future. We are the guardians. That's why it's vital that we understand the ancient legacy, the most fundamental instincts and behaviors that still reside in our modern psyche for our survival. Think about this. No other species has such a fascination of its origins. No other species has the means to explore and discover the fossilized clues to its beginning. No other species has so much to learn from its past. And sadly, no other species has so much to lose by ignoring the impact we've had. It's way past the time to start to focus on the sustainability of human society and stop the destroying the ecosystems we rely on. Our impact on the planet has been faster and more widespread than anyone could have anticipated. At the start of the agricultural revolution, a mere 10,000 years ago, humans began to domesticate animals, a partnership that constituted only 0.1% of the Earth's mammalian biomass. Today, some 500 generations later, just the blink of a geological eye, humans and domesticated animals comprise 98% of Earth's mammalian biomass. Think about the consequences of that. As I prepared this talk, I found myself going back to the same question over and over. What has Lucy's species, Australopithecus afarensis, taught us about who we are and how we have evolved to be the species in control of all life on this planet. When I came to Africa as a young scholar, my goal was to find fossils. But over the years, I have come to understand that while bones are the prize, it's the message they bring us from some long forgotten time that is even more important. Where do we fit into the rhythms of the earth? Is there something that connects us to nature that transcends time and distance? As I've said, when people visit Africa, they seem to feel they've come home. They say, Africa gets into your blood. I always say, that's because Africa is in your blood. It's in your DNA. We are all Africans on this planet. Most of my 50 years of research has focused on Africa's Great Rift Valley. The real hotspot for paleoanthropologists is Hadar, in the Afar Triangle, where I found Lucy in November of 1974. Almost immediately, she became an ambassador, inspiring people all over the world to ponder their origins. Even the devout Afar Muslims who live in this area don't read very much about human evolution in the Quran, but they all know and claim Lucy as an Afar and take pride in believing that all humans have descended from their tribe. They incorporate science into religion. Lucy has become an icon for human origin studies. She is the touchstone by which all human ancestor fossils are judged and compared. She's the focal point of discussions about evolution for scientists, but also for the general public. Something about her creates a bond with everyone who sees her. I have watched people cry in her presence. The idea that we have made this long journey from her to us is very emotional for some people. She's a link to the natural world, and she inspires an understanding of our need to rediscover our place in nature. She's familiar to us. We can't help but see the process of becoming modern when we look at her skeleton. She reminds us of the continuum of life. Just imagine, Lucy's species walked the earth for close to 1 million years. That's many times longer than Homo sapiens has been around, all of us today. Here we sit in the first quarter of the 21st century, and scientists are wondering if we will survive the next 50 years. To equal the time Lucy's species spent on Earth, modern humans will have to live for another 9,000 centuries. Lucy makes us re-examine who we are, a part of nature, not distinct from it, certainly not above it or totally in control of it. And she puts us on alert. We can't turn our backs on the very natural world that created us and all other life on Earth. The pattern for the evolution of life on planet Earth is dramatic and brutal. Nearly 99% of all species that have ever lived are gone. We are one of the few exceptions, at least for now. We've evaded the hand of the grim reaper of evolution, extinction. Remember, just because Lucy's ancestors stood up 6 million years ago doesn't mean that modern humans were destined to rise. We were not inevitable. And despite what some think, we are not the pinnacle of evolution. Anthropologists, known to be fairly contentious, we argue a lot, but we agree on one thing. Africa is the cradle of humankind. All the major steps in the process of human evolution, upright walking, stone tools, brain expansion, hunting, fire, the first appearance of Homo sapiens, all premiered in Africa. I like to say that no matter what branch of the human family tree you grasp, the roots lead back to Africa. And when we fully understand that, superficial differences like skin color, texture of hair, shape of eye, doesn't matter. We share a common origin. We are a common species. And we share, I believe, a common future. What will it look like? We may live in modern societies. In many respects, we function still with a Stone Age mind. By that I mean our rapidly accelerating technological evolution has far outstripped our glacially slow genetic evolution. There's a huge imbalance between where we are culturally and where we are biologically. 10,000 years ago, every human on this planet was a hunter-gatherer. Yet not 60 years ago, not quite 60 years ago, we left footprints on the moon. Technologically, we are excelling. Can a brain that evolved in the Paleolithic cope successfully with the modern world? When and how will we overcome our primitive urges to control, to wage war, and begin to treat our fellow humans with respect? While we are the most intelligent species that we know of, we are also the most dangerous. We're not the final step in life's 3 billion year adventure, as I said. Our species is still an evolutionary work in progress. You, the students, are the future, and the future is now. You have the power to impact the outcome of all life on this planet. You are the great hope. It's up to you to spread the word. We can no longer treat our Creator, nature, as if she is only here to do our bidding. We need to go from being the most egocentric species to a species with the deepest understanding and respect for our past, and make choices that will not only benefit us, but all life on this glorious planet. My life has been immeasurably enriched because of the privilege afforded me by Ethiopia and by the untold number of Ethiopians who have embraced me and supported my research for more than half a century. Again, I wish to express my sincerest gratitude to the Ethiopian government for sharing my dream of a better understanding of human origins and of the human condition, which has led to a vision for a better future for all humankind. Once, I was a student with dreams to change the world. Perhaps much like many of you in this graduation today. Set your sights high. Find your passion. Never shy from asking others for help, and honor others. And I guarantee you too will make a difference. Thank you for offering me this wonderful opportunity to share some of my thoughts with you. And please accept my heartiest congratulations and wish you all the best for the future. Thank you very much.